Good morning, girls. In today's session, we are going to cover one more example of parameters, how to get a value of that parameter through your servlet, which are defined in your HTML file, right? So let us begin with one example. For that, you have to open a NetBeans. Here NetBeans is open. You can create a new project. Okay, how to create a new project I have already taught you. Now in this program I have defined this program with the name prg_9. Expand the folder and create one index.html file. Here you can see the coding of HTML file, right? HTML file, I took one form tag and my action is show parameter. Now all of you are very well aware of that we are taking the name of servlet page, which we will define later with the same name that I have already used over here, right? With the same name we will define a one servlet very soon. Okay, then method is get method. Now I want to create one table in my HTML form which will show us the detail of items, right? First I want to print item number in first TD, and in the second TD I want to create one text box. So here input type is text and name of the text box is defined as NBR. Okay, then next field, next tr, will create one more tr for name of item name, and then in next td will provide one text box again for entering item name. The name of this field is item. In the next tr we want one more text box, right? We'll label the text box item quantity. Then the name for this text box is QTY, right? The fourth row, here we will define item price, and we will enter one more text box in next TD, and then we'll give a name to that text box, price. Okay, at the end we'll insert one more tr and we'll set the call span to, and we will insert one submit button, and the value we will set for the submit button is click. Our table is over, our form tag is over, body tag is over, and HTML tag is also over. It is very simple to define an HTML page, right? As you have already learned in first semester as well as in PHP subject, right? So it is very easy to understand this coding. Now let me create one servlet. Where we create our servlet? Yes, inside the source package. For that what you have to do is right click on source package, new, and click on servlet, right? Here you can define a name of your servlet, provide a class name, click on next, and you can configure servlet deployment details from this page, right? For that what you have to do is just click on this checkbox and insert the servlet name and URL pattern with name which you want to display this page in your browser. Okay, I am not entering any detail in this page because I have already created a servlet deployment descriptor for this example, right? You can see the details in web.xml page. We are on general tab. Move to XML tab to see the XML file. Here XML version is shown. Web app tag is by default you will get. Then if you enter a proper detail during the creation of your servlet, you will get all this detail by default, right? The name of our servlet is servlet class is show parameter. Name defined for this page is show parameter. Same, it is not compulsory to change this name every time. Even you can keep the pattern as it is, right, if you want. And if you want to change the URL pattern, you can. Here I have kept the URL pattern for this servlet same as the name of servlet class, right? Then as I have explained in previous session somewhere, that you can define a welcome file also in your deployment descriptor file. So here the name of file is index.html. It is not necessary to mention the name of welcome file, right? You can even provide the URL for your page that you want to execute. If you are creating index.html, it will take automatically when you run your project in browser. Index.html file will be automatically run. So this is what we have done in web.xml file. Let us go back to show parameter.java file, which is our servlet. Okay, here you need 4 packages: java.io, java.util, javax.servlet, and javax.servlet.http. These 4 packages are required. The name of class is show parameter, which extends HTTP servlet. Now here we have removed the method process request. As you can see, doGet method is defined, right? Whenever you create your servlet, you by default you will get 3 methods: doGet, doPost, and process request. Let me show you. New servlet, next, add information, click on finish. New servlet, this is our default code, right? Process request you will get by default. Now scroll down and expand this portion. Just click on this plus sign, and here you can see that the method doGet is already there, right? As well as doPost method is already defined over here, so you can keep any one of this method. Okay, if you remove the process request method, then you have to mention the type of method in your HTML file, right? By default it is get. Okay, accordingly you have to define either doGet method or doPost method in your servlet file. Let us move back to show parameter.java. So here I took doGet method and did coding for this method. The coding will remain same. As you can see, the content type is text/html and out object is defined, right? Then HTML code you can enclose in println method. I want to set the header for my HTML, right? Servlet show parameter is title for this page. Head tag begin, then body tag begin, then h1 tag begin, and I want to show, so let's show parameters. Now the parameters which we have defined in our HTML page, that we can get with the help of get parameter names, right? If you want to access the parameters individually, you can go with the method get parameter, but I want to access all the parameters in one go. For that I will use get parameter names method. HTML ની અંદર ડિફાઇન થયેલા પેરામીટર્સ છે, જો ઇન્ડિવિજ્યુઅલ એક્સેસ કરવા હોય તો તમે ગેટ પેરામીટર મેથડ યુઝ કરી શકો, અને જેટલા પણ પેરામીટર્સ તમે ડિફાઇન કરેલા છે એ તમારે એક જ વારમાં એક્સેસ કરવા હોય તો તમે ગેટ પેરામીટર નેમ્સ મેથડની હેલ્પ લઈ શકો. Here I have used get parameter names method. This will get the value of all the parameters defined in my HTML file, right, and return everything in p_nm object of type enumeration. As we have already learned enumeration in our Java subject, I will not explain this class in detail over here, right? Now to access the next element, we'll take a while loop. Through while loop we'll iterate and we'll print all the details which the client will enter from HTML page, right? Has more elements, this method of enumeration will return either true or false. If the p_nm method has more elements, then it will return true and while loop will be executed. Now we will find the name of element through next element method, and we'll convert that value in string, right, by using string class through typecasting, and the value will be stored in the variable para. Now out.println, I will print the value which is already stored in para. Then request.getParameter into bracket, I will pass the same variable, and this will return a value stored in that variable, right? Let us go back to index.html. First of all, we'll get item number whose name is nbr, right? So nbr will come over here, and whatever the value entered in that text box will get through this method. Okay, during the second iteration, this will again check has more elements. So we have 4 elements defined in our index file, right? So in the second iteration we will get true, and in the para we will get the detail about the second parameter. Here the second parameter is item. In this variable we'll get item, and through get parameter item we will get the value which is entered by client in a browser, and that value will be printed on our browser. Now third iteration, again this loop will check for the next element. If there is next element available, then this will return a true, and in our case again we will get true, right? And the third element, our third element is quantity, and this will print all information about quantity. Now fourth element is a price of item, right? And here this will return again true. We'll enter in the while loop. In the para we will get value, and then the price of the item will be printed through this line. Okay, then body tag is over, HTML tag is over. Here this will try to access one more element, but there is no more elements available in our HTML file, so this will return false and will come out from the while loop. Here what we have done is body tag over and HTML tag is also over. In this way you can get the value of all the parameters together. Let us execute this program by right clicking on our program number 9. This will open a Glassfish server automatically. Here you can see Glassfish server 3 is started, right, and our program is running. In the browser you can see the index.html file, which is our welcome file. Enter an item number. Item number is 10. Item name is television. Quantity is 10. Let me change the quantity in 50, and the price is 40,000, and click on this button. Will move on the servlet page. You can see the URL, show parameter, question mark. Okay, item number, item name, the quantity and the price. Everything you can see in your address bar, because we took the method, get method, right? Here the title is set and we got these values through enumeration, right? Number is 10, item number is 10, the name of item is also printed, then quantity, and at last price. You have to note down this example in your notebook, right? This is again an example of request parameters. So here what we have done is to handle a request and response parameter. Give the title to your program, right? And whatever number we reach, exactly I don't remember the program number, so whatever number you reach, you just give the number, right? In the next session, what we are going to cover is servlet collaboration. Okay, I think this is enough for this session. Thank you.